Okay, SummerSlam. I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm trying not to talk too loud because I don't want to disturb my neighbors. This is not the third time I've done this. I screwed up twice. Guys, I'm going to tell you this. This is me. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not going to say every single time something is great from a company. I'm not. I'm going to tell you the truth. There are 8 matches here. I'm going to tell you right now. 3 good matches, really good matches. 1 crappy match, so bad it should never happened. And the rest were okay matches. That's what we got in SummerSlam. And there were 3 main matches made SummerSlam. The rest, no. No. And I'm sure everyone can say, this is one of the best SummerSlams that we had in years. I'm sorry. No, it isn't. It's a good SummerSlam. An average pay-per-view with 3 great matches, 1 crappy match so bad it should never happen, and the rest were okay. Let's open with one of the great matches. Ricochet versus Logan Paul. I had no expectations in here other than I know Logan Paul can go in the ring, and I know Ricochet can go in the ring. I had no other expectations in that. When they added in, what is her name, Sabrina? That is Ricochet's fiancée. It helped the match. But what made the match was the work that Logan did. You can say a lot about Logan. You don't have to like him. Many people still hate him after what he did in Japan and went into the forest and recorded it when he wasn't supposed to. He knew he wasn't supposed to. He did it on purpose. I'm sorry. Anybody thinks that's wrong? You can watch the video if you could ever find it. It's somewhere hidden in the internet. It is obvious. He knew exactly what he was doing when he went in there, when he was told never to go in there. Period. So taking away from that, look at him just as a wrestler. He's a damn good one that knows how to work the ring, how to tell a good story, and the most important thing, wrestling psychology. The guy knows how to manipulate the crowd. He knew exactly what needed to be done. He pissed off the crowd trying to do a little bit of Hulk Hogan, tried to do a little bit of The Rock, tried to do a little bit of Macho Man Randy Savage in some of his moves. He knew what to do. Ricochet, for his part, he is a very good veteran. He knows how to make the crowd cheer and get suspenseful. But when it comes to his character, it's not very good. He just doesn't have a good character. Logan Paul filled in the blanks for that. In the end, what did we get? We got a great hot opener for SummerSlam. And what did we get at the end? We got one of the entourage from Logan Paul giving him some brass knucks. I think I got a shot of it. It's in my face. I think of the guy giving him the brass knucks and laying out a Ricochet. He's out. He's done. And Sabrina, who I believe I got a shot of her. She's in my face. Wearing yellow. I think she made a bit of a mistake. Her nipple was showing. Now, that doesn't... I'm not trying to be a nasty guy. But when you see a woman wearing something very bright, their body parts are going to show. And the cameraman made a mistake by zooming into her head and chest instead of just into her face. Because no one was noticing, you could see her nip. So for me personally, I'm seeing it from a point of view, they made a mistake in production there. Someone should have said, go up. Don't target her chest so much. Because they should have just raised a little bit, you could have still saw her face. I'm just saying. Second match, which I had no care about. This was Cody versus Brock. They played the same replay over and over again before the match. And let's make this 100% clear. It's the rubber match. We knew it was a rubber match. We knew someone had to win it. I just didn't care because there's no story there. They never explained why Brock attacked Cody. The only thing we got was from the commentators saying, well, Brock got mad because he had to open the show. It would have been better if Brock said that. He never did. And it felt empty as it was because Cody had already won and they could have just moved away from it. No, they stuck with it and now we got this match. Literally, Brock Lesnar did everything he could to make Cody look tough as nails. He F5'd him twice, I believe. Did he F5 him twice? Yes. He threw him out of the ring 3 times. He F5'd him outside the ring. He F5'd him inside the ring. And he kept telling Cody, quit and go home. Because the ref kept counting him out. But he kept getting back in the ring. This was about showing how tough Cody was. And to be honest, it wasn't about... Was the fan cheers real? Yes. Were they all real? I can't say yes or no for that. But what we've been getting lately from WWE, and if anybody says no it hasn't, yes, it's true. We know they've done it. They piped in canned pops for Cody. Not saying people don't still cheer for him, but there's been a lot of canned pops for Cody. Much more than it should be. Not saying he hasn't been getting pops. He has. He's been getting applause from the fans, but they've been piping in more than normal on Raw because a lot of people begin to get annoyed with him. They want more than him working with Brock. So I can't say in this situation there was pops, that was canned. So there's a good possibility with the 59,000 people that was there, that it was strong enough they didn't need to pipe it in. But admittedly, they could have worked the audio a little better because the audio wasn't so good when it came to that match. In the end, Cody did win. And I'm just saying this. When it comes down to the Cody, when it comes down to the Brock, they need to finish this. It's over. If they continue again with this, not only many people are going to tune it out, I'm not going to care anymore. I'm not going to say a word. Unless Cody now moves on to somebody else, I don't care. This is done. Brock should be finished with him. But do I believe it's going to be done? No. I'm telling you right now, I don't believe it at all that it's over. And that's going to hurt Cody a lot. Now, let's get to the SummerSlam Slim Jim Battle Royal. It looked fine at very first until Omos came out. I know that JD's going to go, Omos, with his audio. I don't know why Vince did that. That doesn't look like it was Triple H. He would have already came to the ring. Look, Omos got rid of Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, Rick Boobs. He got rid of pretty much, who else? He also got rid of Butch, and he got rid of Matt Riddle. Both of them at the same time. Riddle and Butch. Both at the same time. It just didn't really give a lot to this story. It didn't give a lot to the Battle Royal. It just felt like it was thrown in as the last thing. Like someone just made their mind up and say, you know what, get Omos in there. I want Omos in there now. And they say, Vince, we don't need him. Put him in there now. And he's in. The ones that looked the best, Bronson Reed, well, should I say this? Look, Bronson Reed looked great. Chad Gable looked great. When it came to, well, he got thrown out. Giovanni Vinci looked good as well. But the ones that was the most important, Sheamus, Bronson Reed, who were the last ones there? It was Sheamus, Bronson Reed, AJ Styles, and there was, who was the last one? There was 4 of them. And LA Knight. I almost forgot LA Knight. You see, I'm tired. The one that did the best, the one that came out, that should have came out last, was LA Knight. Everybody loves LA Knight. It makes me so happy to know that boy's gotten over so well. I knew he'd get over. I knew it. I knew he would be over than anyone else on that freaking... Everyone didn't like LA Knight, and I said he would get over, and he did. I said it over a year ago that he would get over, and he did. He did. Does that mean I still trust Vince? No. I don't trust Vince for anything. But LA Knight is over. He was the last one with Sheamus. And Sheamus lost. LA Knight won. And the place exploded. More than Cody. They exploded way more than Cody did. And I loved it. That makes me very happy. Now, the next match that we got. Oh, this was the stinker. This was the worst match. Whoever decided to do this MMA rules match should get smacked in the face. I don't care if it's Ronda. I don't care if it's Shayna. I don't care if it's Vince. I don't care if it was Triple H. I don't care who it was. This was the worst match of the entire night. I don't know about anybody else, but it was. You know why? Because it didn't need it. The only thing they needed was to do an ordinary match like they regularly do. That's what they really needed. This was not about being MMA fighters. This was about two women who now joined a promotion that one had a great history with, and now she's been screwed over by her. They needed to do a standard wrestling match, not an MMA match, which looked so fake, so crappy, that the majority of the fans tuned completely out. And most of them were already booing. And guess what? They had to lower the mic sounds. They had to lower the mics that were near the fans so it would not be that bad. You could tell they lowered the mics. They made sure the mics in the ring were done, but there was no one cheering barely at all. Not until the match was over did they pipe up pops. Guys, I was so disappointed in this match because I knew Shayna could do better than this. And Ronda has her moments, and this wasn't it. Ronda is just not as good as Shayna. And they needed to do more than this. This sucked. Them rolling out of the ring since it doesn't have any counts felt ridiculous. This is, if it was like a boxing match, this would be something entirely different, but it wasn't a boxing match. It was an MMA fight that felt so choreographed, so timid. And I'm not even saying they're not hitting each other. They were. Shayna did a good round head kick to Ronda, and that wasn't bad. But you could tell they were still doing basic, what they would do as wrestlers. Putting arm bars on. Putting on a chokehold. It would have been better if it was just a regular match and it sucked. Shayna won and she lost. Shayna won that match, but she lost because it didn't give her anything in SummerSlam. Yes, she had a signature match with a friend where she made it clear her daughter is her goddaughter. And probably in real life, that is her goddaughter. And Ronda really wanted to put over Shayna, but this wasn't the match to do it. It felt empty. I'm just saying. The match that made up for it was Drew versus Gunther. Gunther has 32 days left before it is the Honky Tonk Man's record is broken. I don't know why Vince wants to do that. Ugh. I would have just left the Honky Tonk Man's record alone for now, but Vince wanted to break it. That was a damn good match. I loved that match. You could tell they beat the crap out of each other. That was such a good damn match. I loved it. I find it better than the Seth and Finn, and I'll get to that one in a minute. But this one was done so well. And at the end, Gunther won. It was done well. But you could tell afterward they were both toasted. They were exhausted. And I appreciate that they put everything into that match. Now here's the one that was good, but I think it would have been better if there was no interference. And that was Finn versus Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. Good match. It was not bad. I didn't hate the match. But once Judgment Day coming out really didn't help much. And that just makes it worse. Look, Rhea Ripley, shouldn't she had a match at SummerSlam? She was set up for this. The woman who is the most over was in this segment. Rhea Ripley. I would have rather seen a Rhea Ripley match than her being there with Dom, with Damian Priest to try and help Finn to win, which did not happen. Finn got a curb stomp to the damn briefcase because of constant interference, which the first time Damian came out, when he first came out, he decked pretty much as Seth didn't work. Then he gave the briefcase to a Finn Balor, which he's going, what are you doing? And I felt like this wasn't necessary. Then the rest of Judgment Day came out trying to interfere, and it felt like it wasn't necessary. And then in the end, the briefcase to the head through a curb stomp. He wins, Seth. Now you get Damian Priest staring daggers at a Finn Balor, and Finn staring daggers at Damian Priest. I got this to ask you guys. What do you think would have been better? Do you think this would be this? Or, guess what? It would have been better if Finn had won, and then there would have been dissension in Judgment Day where Damian would have eventually had to cash. That would have been better than this. I'm just saying it didn't feel right. It felt wrong. It hurt the match for me personally. Now, a match that I knew had to go a certain way, and it did. It was an okay match. It was good. I'm not saying it was the greatest match I've seen with the women, but it was a good three-way match. Asuka, Charlotte, Bianca. Understand, if you thought Bianca should have won, you were wrong, because they've done everything they can with Bianca. She should not win. Then there's Charlotte, who was the one that came out first. Do you think Charlotte should have won? No, because at that point, what does Charlotte gain by winning the damn title and being a 15-time world champion? Or was it 16? I can't remember, 15 or 16. It would give her nothing. And it wouldn't help the women anyway, because Charlotte never helps women. Charlotte never puts people over correctly. She can't. She can get herself over, and counting on how well the other woman is, because she'll have to get herself over by herself. That's what we get with Charlotte. Charlotte can only get herself over, and it's exceptionally rare that she can ever get someone partially over, let alone fully over, and she never does. And then there's Asuka, who felt like an afterthought. Her vid pack felt like an afterthought. Her running around and doing what she did before the vid packs, before SummerSlam, was an afterthought. It was trash. Asuka felt like trash, and that pissed me off. And I knew there was only one person that can win, and that's Io. Io was the only person that could win that. And when it was all said and done, which was a good spot at the end, where Charlotte basically put Bianca in a figure eight, and she gets sprayed in the face by Asuka. And then once Charlotte let go, you get seeing that roll-up. I'm not saying it was a bad roll-up between Bianca and Asuka, but it was typical. And then Io came out with Bayley. And then Bayley nailed Charlotte. And Bayley nailed Asuka. And then Bayley tried to nail Bianca. Actually hit her in the face with the briefcase, but she didn't sell it. She didn't sell. Maybe she was more busy caring more about her left knee, which that was the entire thing that was supposed to make her so special. During the entire match, that's all she did, sell her knee, which I'll say she did a good job with. But in the end, Io won. And there is the only one that made the best sense. Even Dakota Kai came out and gave hugs. That was what was needed. We needed new freshness. Now the question is going to be, will they book Io correctly? Or are they going to make Io only hold it short, like a transitional champion, and then give it to Charlotte? Because there's a strong possibility Charlotte could still get the damn title. Because like I said before, this is always about Charlotte. I'm just saying. Finally, the best match of the night. And it went a way that I did not expect. And I'm fine with it. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for not only the WWE Undisputed Heavyweight Championship, but also the moniker of the Tribal Chief. I told you guys, and let's make this clear. This anything goes match, which is tribal warfare, was it a bad match? No. Roman did get cut on his arm back here when he went through the table with Jay. When he did a Samoan drop onto the table that was sideways. Instead of just going straight, they did sideways, and I think he cut his arm open that way. Great match. Jay showed how great he is as a singles wrestler. He knew how to motivate the fans. He knew how to make the match go. He knew how to make Roman look great, but also himself. Now, there's going to be people saying, no. I looked at the match differently. I don't think you're right. I am right. You could tell how Roman was not 100% guiding that damn match. Understand? Roman did something he rarely does. He literally let Jay go all out and do whatever he felt was right to guide that match. That was not Roman guiding that match. It was Jay guiding it. Jay guided that match. You can check it for yourself when you watch SummerSlam. He guided the match. Now, am I saying that he did a great job? Yeah. But did he do it perfectly? No. I'm going to make this clear. Jay did not guide that match perfectly, but he did guide it well enough to look great, to make the fans cheer or the chants boo. It was done well enough. Then, we got Solo coming out, nailing Jay multiple times. They go into the fans. Well, Roman tries to run away. Then, you get Solo helping out, nailing him twice, putting him through a second table. They take him back to the ring. He nails Solo with the chair shots. He nails Roman with the chair shots. He finally spears Roman. And that's after Roman spears Solo, which pisses him off. And Solo's not helping him when he's asking Solo for help to help him up. But the key is, when it's all said and done, when he does the splash, after he does the spear, he gets pulled out of the ring by his twin, Jimmy. Now, I did not anticipate this, and I'm fine with that. If I anticipated everything, it's no fun doing wrestling. Now you understand the reason I don't do any predictions. I like to be surprised. This keeps wrestling fun for me to do reviews. If I knew everything, it's no fun. I didn't expect Jimmy to actually turn on Jay, which is perfect. Now, does this mean that main event Jey Uso will not be going after the moniker of the Tribal Chief? No. It's just at this point, he is now done trying to get them both at the same time, which is the title and the Tribal Chief title. The next time they go up against each other, and it will eventually happen again, will only be for the Tribal Chief moniker. It should have been from the beginning, but they combined them to do it like this. So I do believe Jay will try again. It will be a while from now, unless they're going to be student enough to try and do it quickly. It will be a while from now before they'll probably do this again. But I will say this. The war in the bloodline is not over. Yes, this is not going to be about Roman anymore. Let's make this clear. Roman's done. He is not going to be doing this anymore. This is going to be now a story between not Roman and Jay, but possibly Roman and Jimmy. So the bloodline will be between them. Not Roman. He'll be sitting back and not interfering with this. He's going to see that Jay is outside. Jimmy will be brought back in. And then it will be about Jimmy facing Jay eventually. Maybe in a minor pay-per-view. I don't know what's the next one. Maybe somewhere, in September? I think that's the next one. I don't remember what it is. But pretty much, that might be when Jay will face Jimmy in a match. And then eventually go from there. Maybe that will lead into going into Survivor Series. And maybe that's when you get the moniker there put on the line from Jay and Roman. But this is just me. This show was okay. It was good. It was not great. Shayna and Ronda stunk the place up. Anybody else liked it? Fine, whatever. I didn't think so. Peace.